pizza night, I mean, you can have pizza any night of the week you want, but you know, I don't order pizza anymore. When I have time in the past, I've made pizzas from scratch, but I don't know, I'm busy. I work. I'm doing all sorts of things. I'm trying to help my little sister figure some things out in her life right now because, you know, that is an ongoing saga. She can't live with me anymore, but it will be an ongoing saga because I will never give up on her because I've decided something in my life. Like other people, they don't have my like loyalty to people, but I'm a bring point person where I will do everything I can to try and help people, and that's a beautiful way to be. I know, and you know, I don't even care. Like I've talked about what I think about the politics of the day, which is not my cup of tea, but I just have a message for you. Be kind. I believe in kindness culture. Yes, I do. And if you don't like that, I don't care. Because, like, there's a lot of things happening in current events that I don't agree with, that I don't think are great. I'll talk about them from time to time, but this week I've just been like, it's a carnival, it's ridiculous, it's horrible, some of it. And irony, plot twist is, look up, if you live in the USA, look up what people in other countries think about us right now. And it's nothing to write home about. So if you think like, if you're part of the people that think this administration is making so many good choices, like, no, they're not. A lot of people just, like, they don't even want to come visit the US, and that's not good for our economy. And then there's just a lot of things going on in the continued saga of, well, they don't want to get rid of inflation, whatever. It's all a game, but I feel like it's to keep us divided, to keep us conquered, to keep us feeling like unease. And I do believe you need to be aware of things going on, but at some point you just need to be, here's my prop, be kind. We do kindness culture, and if you don't believe in kindness culture, then that's on you. And you are losing out. And you should be a bring point person where you go to the bring point and back for people. People who don't do that, they're just not part of my daily life and language. Don't care about them because they don't care about anybody else. Like, okay, so we should, you know, talk about the story of the giving tree. My pizza's stuck in there because I put, like, people always made this comment about putting tinfoil on your racks for the air fryer, but now it's stuck. So I want to talk about, you know, this is actually, I found out the meaning behind the giving tree from Dr. Romani. And I found this out a couple of years ago, a year and a half actually. So I never was like a super fan of the giving tree. I don't know if people remember, but if you were an 80s or a 90s kid, I don't know if kids still read it anymore, but it was so big. Like so many teachers loved the giving tree back in, okay, loved the giving tree back in like the 80s, 90s. So, and it's kind of a ridiculous story. So Dr. Romani talked about this story, the giving tree, where there was a tree. And when the boy was young, he was there for the boy to play on him. And then when the boy got older, he was there for his branches to build like a boat and a house. And the tree basically decimated itself for the little boy, who became an old man. And at the end of his life, the old man wanted to sit on his stump. And some people, they view this as a beautiful story about how the tree came full circle with the man. But I see it as a narcissistic story because Dr. Romani did point this out, and I don't listen to all of her videos, but this was a really good point. And it ties in, you can see it tie in with current events, honestly. There's a lot of people, especially in politics, or any big group that wants you to follow them, they kind of have not such good messages, but they want you to give your entire life over for them. Just like the little boy wanted the tree to devote his entire life to him. And the thing is, I don't believe in that. I know some people don't believe in reciprocity, but reciprocity is necessary to be a good and ethical person. If you're somebody that just believes in a transactional friendship, like I would define the story of the giving tree as transactional friendship, where this boy thought the tree was just there to be for him, to be whatever he needed. And there's a lot of people that go through life bonking along, and they view everything as transactional friendship. But God sees you. God sees everything. I believe that. I know some people are like, oh, but I don't believe in God. Well, I do. You don't believe in God, you don't have to. Nobody's going to make you. But God sees what you do. And I do believe that there are consequences for acting like the little boy in the giving tree. That's my opinion. That's how I view that story. I know the Shel Silverstein probably does not view it that way. But I do believe, gosh, this pizza's stuck in here. At the end of the day, you can't just be like somebody who uses people and to think that people aren't going to find out. But, you know, everybody will find out. The truth always comes out at the end. See, that's the thing. So, if you want to be a person of integrity in this life, you'll stop always thinking about yourself 24/7. Like, you will actually think and care about other people. And this kind of thought it's definitely not encouraged by the more conservative elements. In fact, they want you to only think about yourself, and they actually kind of posit liberty as being very like self-determined. But you know what's interesting? I've been thinking about this recently, and I started doing some research on it. Super conservatives, libertarians, really aren't into liberty for everybody. They're just not. Like, look at what's going on. Like, we have a president that's intimidated and wants to censor people that make jokes about him, but yet he's supposedly free speech. Irony is, the economy seems to be doing better, and people seem to have more freedom under more liberal leadership, and that's just the truth. It's the truth. And I know that goes against like the whole libertarian ideology that we should have no regulation, and I'm not even going to get into the political side, but stop falling for the malarkey. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you want to give your life over to political religion and think that this administration is like perfect and that they're doing so many good things for you, I'm not going to stop you. But at the end of the day, I do know that the international community thinks that America looks off the rails, because it is. Lady Liberty's about to lose her crown if people don't wake up. And this is not... And I woke up and I realized how big a lie libertarian was. The whole libertarian idea. Because look what happened. Like, a lot of libertarians went and voted for Trump. I had some guy that came on my hair channel that wanted to talk about how basically he didn't like women. That was his whole shtick. He had a whole shtick. He didn't like women. He didn't like liberals. Like, everything. Like, it was so weird. And then he was telling me that I felt that way. But yet, I'm not even going to go into it. I deleted that video. But it's just like, I have all these people that are always telling me that conservative ideals are best, and that conservative people want liberty. But if you're looking right now, our economy is going down the tubes. There's all sorts of things happening with this administration that are not pro-liberty, that are not helping the economy. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Life is beautiful, and not a bill. But life is beautiful, not a bill. Not that bill. That bill was just pork barrel waste. It's not beautiful. And you can still criticize politicians because they're elected by the American people to represent us. And we, as Americans, in our Constitution, set forth to never have a king, like, ever. If you believe in the U.S. Constitution, if you believe in our country, you would never suggest that Donald Trump is king. You just want it. It's ridiculous. And go on Google and type in, what do people in the UK, France, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, what do they think about what's happening in the U.S.? And they think it looks like a carnival. It looks so ridiculous. I'm like, really? But they love to keep us distracted. And this is my way forward. I'm not going to be distracted by them. I'm just not going to fall for it. I don't have to be like the Giving Tree. Like I remember, like, there have been a lot of conservative people in my life that treated me like the Giving Tree. And we might care about people. We might be people that are altruistic. We might be people that like tend to go to the breaking point. But stop doing it for the wrong people. Go to the breaking point. Push yourself for people that count. People that care about you. Not people that do transactional friendship. You know, not people that don't care about community and society. So yeah, best thing you can do in the midterm elections is vote for candidates that are not Donald Trump's backed ones. Hey, you know, that's what's going to happen with that. But otherwise, I'm not going to give my life over to politics too much because a lot of it's really divisive in a way, like worse than ever. And I think it's always been a game, like, for about, I don't know, probably decades. There were people that had a lot of angry issues, a lot of axes to grind, wanted to control others like a minority, not even a majority, but they wanted to be in power. So they kind of manipulated their fellow man to make them feel like they'd be more free if they did this and they did that. But it was all a lie. It was a ruse. Liberals tend to be more pro-freedom than conservatives. That's just the truth. But a conservative will never tell you that. Well, they won't. This is the truth. Conservatives that make a lot of money just don't want to pay taxes. Like, they feel like they shouldn't have to pay taxes. They don't want to, like, fund public schools. They don't even want kids to have a free lunch. This is true. Like, a child having a free lunch is such an abomination, but they would rather have a bill passed that gives a tax break to tanning salons. Like, that's weird. Whatever, I don't know. That's actually in the bill, by the way. But enough of that. Let's try the pizza. That bill is not beautiful. I just don't. All these conservatives that want you to feel a certain way, or think that Trump is like the best president ever, even though he's not doing anything good for the economy, and he's causing friction, and I mean, whatever. Let them have their fantasy. It's not true. That doesn't make it a reality. You could literally go online and see, what do people in the UK think, French, Germany, about what's happening in the US, and it's not going to be what you think it is. Yeah, it's interesting times we live in. And beyond that, I feel like you need to invest in having good friendships, like friendships with people that care about you. Like, look for real people in your life, people like that believes in reciprocity, that believe in community. Because if somebody doesn't believe in reciprocity and caring about others, their morality is broken. Anyway, thanks for watching.